Let's make a baby. Crash a Cash Podcast, episode 81. I'm Dave, the NC Picker, and with me, as always, is Carrie, the Commonwealth Picker, and Kevin, the American Arbitrage.
How you doing?
Welcome. How are you guys doing? How was your week? How's everybody doing? I heard there was a car chase in Bedford, or was it a motorcycle chase?
It was Kevin, and he was running from the cops again, and it's fine.
He's on his
because the cop is his uncle, so it all worked out in the end anyways. And actually, the cop is also somehow related to SSK Promo, which we're not sure really how that worked, but that is true. Carrie, it seems like you had the big week, though. You conquered your fears.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hear about this.
Yeah, no,
I was
prostate
examined finally.
Yeah, I still have one. Congratulations,
yes,
right?
It's there.
I didn't even know.
That's the result of the test. It's there.
It's viable. I flew to Dallas and back, and I was terrified for like a week or two beforehand. It wasn't that bad when I was actually flying. Yeah. I'm an anxious before the flyer kind of guy, and then when I'm in the air, it ebbs and flows. It was actually worse on the way back. I don't know why.
Was it Frontier, Spirit? What'd you do?
It was Spirit. Yeah.
We kind of
just did it on one
window.
We only had one wing, and we were just tilted the whole time. It was awesome.
But it was cheap. I saw a TikTok of Spirit Air, someone looking out their window and Spirit Air like literally duct taping some of their wing. And I was like, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't tell me that before I flew. No, honestly, Spirit Air was great. It was smooth. The planes were good and everything. You just don't get any of the extra accoutrement, the stuff that Kevin's used to when he flies around. You don't get that.
Yeah, the meal,
lounger,
the in-flight meal.
You don't get the massage. You don't get the filet mignon.
The hot face cloth.
Let me tell you, the flight back from Vegas, the bathroom was behind us, and it's a red eye, and you can't recline in that seat. It was awful.
Well, it's probably getting you ready to come home. That sweet smell of manure,
the manure
is really nice.
No, but Carrie,
it's nice for you though with your frequent movements. You could probably just
he does
not just you could.
Well, the person to my right
undiapered and just go back there.
Yeah, well,
little known secret of Kevin, he has IBS. This is the Kevin secret.
Does, yeah.
So you're not answering my question. Window seat, aisle seat, middle seat.
Oh, I was window seat. This is how I am when I fly. I am somehow thinking I can solve every problem. So I love looking out the window. I'm the opposite of Kevin. I love looking out the window. And if I'm watching something, and there starts to be turbulence, I have to turn off my video and watch the window to make sure we're good. That's how I react to it. It makes no sense.
Looking at the window.
No, it's bad. Like I was watching one of your videos and I felt like it was like bad luck. So I turned it off and watched something else. I'm like, I don't know.
What did you do? The YouTube download function? Is that what you did?
Yeah. I downloaded a bunch of YouTube before I left.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah. So you caught up on all your
terrible videos,
your Rake and Profit, your Casey Neistat.
Apparently, Casey Neistat. Apparently, he will sell your stuff for you. You just have to send him pictures. Do most of the
different
work.
Casey. That's a different Casey.
Yeah, nice. He'll edit your videos. He'll edit your videos and just throw in some.
You're thinking of Rockstar Flipper Casey.
Yeah, no, he'll edit some Razor scooter footage from New York City. Yes.
That one is Casey Neistat. Yeah, you got it. You landed. You landed the plane eventually in multiple ways. You also went to the biggest scam auction house in America, Heritage Auctions.
Oh my gosh, please.
Oh gosh, you don't like Heritage. That place was dope, man.
I think Heritage Auction, there's a reason they have billions of dollars.
Okay, if they have billions of dollars, it can't be a scam. People would have
I don't think it's a scam. I just think the whole.
You just said that.
Well, okay, so I'll be honest. Like when Carrie was holding up all the games saying, "Oh, 75,000," I couldn't help just be like, "That's so dumb. That's not 75,000."
I just filmed a video about
fake market
VHS. Yeah, and it's going to be, and we're talking about $40,000 VHS.
Yeah.
How's that any different than a baseball card? Everybody accepts
it. Was not. It's all no. I don't. All of it. I just think it's insane.
Well, you're basing your whole premise off some stuff that happened with WADA that I don't even know if they've adjudicated yet. But outside of that, so I don't know what happened with that.
No,
outside of that,
I get that. There's two aspects.
The place was pretty cool. It may or may not be real. I have no idea.
For context, there was a big controversy like a year ago about heritage auctions and Wada specifically. Wada was more of the bad guy in this scenario where they were like creating, supposedly, allegedly, don't sue me, allegedly creating a false market, overvaluing games on Pawn Stars and stuff, and then
kind of driving up on Whatnot, right, Dave?
But no, there was literally some evidence that like one of the
Commonwealth Zinger.
One of the guys connected with Heritage Auctions was also in Wada Games and was bidding up his own stuff. And like he was the one buying the $1 million Super Mario. There's like a whole bunch of videos on YouTube
and you got
about
this on Reddit, right?
It was on YouTube.
Look, it's
on YouTube.
Well, I'll just say this. It's not just about Heritage Auction House. The exact same criticism. And I'm not, again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just some guy in a shed in the backyard. But
that's
the same criticism has
very
come out
nice
about
sheds, by the way.
Yeah.
Grading companies.
Soon to be 3.
So, yeah, actually, maybe. Actually have 4 sheds.
You heard it here first.
At any rate, the IGS and different grading companies, VHS.
You're playing the drinking game. He said at any rate.
I know. I drank while he was saying it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the same exact criticism I've heard about other companies as well. And I think it's just haters that maybe it's collectors that don't like the grading part of it. I don't know.
Well, maybe some of the listen, there's a video, and I could even link to it. Maybe I will link to it in the description about the Wada specifically that was pretty sketchy. And I want the commenters to go down below and kind of, me, Kevin, and Carrie, we maybe aren't the most up-to-date resource of information on this scandal, but we'd love to hear what you guys have to say, where you're at with the whole heritage auctions.
But that's never stopped us. That's never stopped us from talking or pontificating about a subject.
No,
we don't have any knowledge on really anything.
We have no knowledge on any.
We are.
I went picking with professionals this week.
But no, my bigger thing was just Dave. Like the whole. No, you're not allowed. Okay, go, Carrie. Go while you're drinking the water. Say it while you're drinking.
Well,
I
just want to say how cool the place was in this sense. Okay.
Say it.
We're walking around, dude. We are walking out of our tour. It was like a 3-hour tour, kind of like Gilligan's Island.
The ship has sailed.
Yeah, I figured Kevin would love that reference. It's
I got
old.
it too.
But we were doing the 3-hour tour. We're walking out, and there's like a big old shipping box, and then another box on top of it, open with like a metal sign in it. We're walking by, and they're like, "Oh wow, cool! Look at this real quick." Totally just sitting there randomly. Looks like they opened it and just left it there. And they're like, "Yeah, that's the high voltage sign from Jurassic Park, the first movie." Like big, I almost swore there. A big metal sign, and it's just sitting there. We walked by. We were walking down another aisle, and they just had the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. They had the Sandman.
Did you say the Teenage Witch?
Is that what they said?
Teenage.
I said teenage.
Okay.
Gosh.
I mean, so you're telling me they run their $1.5 billion business like I run my eBay store?
No, they're in boxes. It is organized, but it's just random how much stuff they have in random places. Like, because it's everybody has their own department. We went to the history section.
It's not like locked down underneath lock and key.
It is. No, it is. Each room is locked down big time. You have to have security codes to get in each section. Mm-hmm. But like we went in the back to the history section, and they had taken out documents for us to look at. They're pulling out Abraham Lincoln autographs, George Washington letters. They had like a Henry VIII.
Well, why do they? This is stuff people are going to be auctioning off. Is not?
Yeah, this is stuff that's like the historical stuff with stuff I think that's getting auctioned off this month in one of their prestige.
They have the Ark of the Covenant in there.
They had a Declaration of Independence. It was Nick Cage donated it, or not donated. He consigned it.
You said Nick Cage?
So, yeah, he found it. Yeah, Nick Cage. He found it underneath a Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's. Mick Foley, is that what you said? No, listen, dude. I don't know.
Dude, love donated.
Here's the thing. I can't help just like feel, but I guess that's everything. Like it just feels like fake values on everything.
No, I will say this. Yes, I mean, after I left, I was kind of impressed by everything. But after I left and I was thinking about it in the room, usually the depression time before you fall asleep, where you're just sad. I was instead of being sad.
My favorite time of the day.
I was thinking about it's Kevin's favorite time. I was just thinking about, man, that's just like stuff. It's just a collection of molecules. What does it matter at all? Why are people paying so much for this stuff?
No, it doesn't make sense, man. It's like the stupid Pokemon.
It's just the cosmos, dude.
It's like the Pokemon box that someone spends $500 on. I'm just like, why? Like, why
are you guys desensitized to stuff at this point? Everything I find, I mean, I do like that it's worth something, but like I don't care about much of any of it except for cards. I love those.
I've used to be like that, and now apparently I'm obsessed with VHS. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, that is weird.
I love it. And wrestling figures all of a sudden. I just want both of those. Everything else I don't care about, but those two things I want.
Anyway, like you're going through that like three-fourths of the life crisis that you go through it.
Three-fourths. Well, I guess it's probably
he's almost done. Yeah.
I'm joking.
Here's my question, Carrie. Well, with how often you're urinating, I mean, maybe you should get some stuff checked out. No, okay. So you were sending videos. Well, in your video, you showed like the set of Cheers, the set of the pieces of the set of The Office. Like, why do they have those? That's what I couldn't understand. They're auctioning them off. They have a personal collection.
It's a guy. Yeah, it's called the Commissar collection. It's some guy, I guess, named Commissar. I don't know. And
does he work at Heritage Auctions?
He collected. No, I don't think so. He collected that stuff apparently over decades and decades. Like there was the woman's suit that Michael Scott wore in The Office that was being auctioned off. It's actually, like some of the fake meth from Breaking Bad. So just random stuff like that. The actual Cheers bar was wild, man.
It's a Big Apple Picker. I think we talked about him once before on this show. He's on TikTok, and he had somehow come across some movie. I don't know what movie it was, but had Kevin Garnett in it and somebody else. And he was buying it was Adam Sandler buying their outfits that they wore on that movie. It was a whole warehouse full of that stuff labeled. And, think about that. For years and years and years, TV shows and whatever didn't see any value in that set stuff after the fact, and it went somewhere else. And now they're actually filming it. And then another extra way to generate revenue is to take the stuff from it, label it and whatever, and send it off and auction it off.
Oh, I haven't.
I did see that. It was a lot of stuff from
a while.
I know. I love Kevin's stories.
It was a great story.
No, it was great. It was really good.
Really good. Have you ever found anything like that? Have you ever found anything that was like a one of a kind kind of thing?
No, dude. Yeah, but I just walk by it. I don't actually buy it.
I'm trying to think.
I walk by it because I see a plush. Yeah,
exactly. You go by all the valuable stuff just to pick up your latest Sammy Sosa Beanie Baby.
Dude, yeah, that's pretty much true. I mean, I think it was kind of a pretty cool thing. So what was the goal of being there, Carrie? Like what you were meeting up with Calix?
Calix
10,000, I think is what he said.
Calix, it's Calix. It was Calix. It was Collex.
Yeah.
Collex.
There you go.
This is the interesting thing. Like now that I'm dipping my toes into the sports card influencer, I'm a very big influencer there as well. World, it's different. It is like honestly, it's a lot more tech centric than the reseller garage sale world or estate sale world or whatever the heck we're in, just some weird world. And Collex is like that scanning apps, kind of like TCG Player. But, I'm mostly using the Card Dealer Pro, which is the software to upload my cards fast. But basically, they had a tech summit at this event, the Collecticon, which was like, Collecticon had the Pokemon singer. I was literally sitting at a card box, going through cards at a card show, because they had some sports cards. And I look up and there's the dude, he's like 70 now, the Pokemon guy. And he's like, gotta catch them all. And people were just freaking out. Pokemon. And people were freaking out. And I was excited because they were excited. And then after that, no joke, Tone Loc came out and did a medley of Tone Loc. It's Tone Loc, bro. He did a whole medley of the two songs that he did, right? Funky Cold Medina and the other one.
Funky Cold Medina.
Yeah. And he just did it. It was simultaneously very sad and also like educational because they paid him a lot. So he's happy in that sense. They had to have paid him a lot to come out there. But not one person was like there to see a Tone Loc concert, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. Well, it sounds cool. It sounds very cool. Did you do any sort of flipping or anything, or it was more just like trying to sell yourself to these companies? Like it was more of like a process.
Yeah, there was like, dude, look, what exactly? Man, you got to hobnob. I had a speech I had.
You spoke
like about
10 grand.
Yeah. Do you want to hear the story behind that? Now they were wonderful. They were super well set up at the place. The acoustics was much like the acoustics in our first Trash to Cash.
Oh gosh, that was terrible. Yeah, the all echo.
But think of that. Think of the acoustics there, but you're also having people play casino type games where you can win prizes and stuff, and people are yelling. Like I literally was up there doing the speech. I don't know if anybody heard anything I said. Like anybody, maybe one or two people. And I could barely hear the people talking to me on the stage. Off. It was, yeah, it did take. It was an interesting thing, but it was filmed online, and I think that
people like sitting there watching you.
No, like because, there was a time I think I was there.
I'd walk away.
There was a moment. I don't think one person was watching in the whole room. Not
how long did you have to talk?
That is so weird.
It was surreal. I thought we're like 20 minutes. Because I thought we were going there and it was going to be like a calm meeting hall. And there's going to be 50, 60 people. There's going to be, John, Dr. Beckett, the Beckett card guy. I thought it was going to be like, oh, cool. I'm going to talk in front of all these sports card people. And they were there,
like
but they
literally were competing with the Pokemon guy.
Yeah, no.
He's like over there singing Pokemon and Carrie's like, and sometimes I like to sell cool. $1 cards.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. No, but then I was sitting afterwards and like a guy, Fanatics. Some of you guys will know who Fanatics are. They do apparel, but they bought Topps sports cards. So like one of the higher ups at Fanatics came and sat by us, and he looked at me and he's like, I was watching your video earlier today. And I'm like, nice. A card one or like one of my regular channels? I think it was a card one. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's
American Arbitrage.
It was
cards,
weird, man. So
taking the world by storm.
So it was cool. It was very heartening and inspiring. I think it was fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was cool for me to go out and meet people. I was at the table with all those people and they had gone to, Penn, Wharton Business School, and I have 3 degrees. So I was feeling like I was in my element.
We proved before this episode started today that 4 degrees mean nothing. We proved that before this show
I felt
started.
So out of place. I'm like, you guys want to talk about Avon bottles? And nobody did. There was a moment where I was sharing. There was a moment. Really? I want to share this. This is funny. There was a moment where I was sharing. I know people are going to hate this because Dave's usually talking like 95% of the podcast.
No, this is good.
So people are
I'm
not
getting a break. I'm liking this.
But there was a moment where I was sharing with somebody next to me, one of the collects guys, a video of mine that had 6.7 million views on TikTok, and I was showing him like some of the no, it was yes and no though. I had to mention
specific.
No, there's a reason why I had to mention how much. Let me tell you why. There's a reason. Trust me. Okay. Follow along with me. Sure, it's a humble brag, and I've had 1 million more views than that. Hundreds of millions at this point. Probably 1 billion. Yeah. But no, not that much. But anyway, I said 6.7 million views, and then I showed him why I thought it might have done that. And then the guy next to me, the Fanatics guy, was like, 6.7 million. I thought you were talking, and he started listening. He's like, oh, I thought you were talking about a house you bought. And I'm like, dude, I'm on TikTok, man. I don't have 6.7 anything. I don't have $6.7
You have $6.7 sometimes.
Sometimes occasionally, when I hold on to it, when I'm really
you don't go over
my
the
money.
craps table
before you go to the bins.
Oh gosh, yeah. No, that's cool.
I just found it funny. The second I said 6.7 million, I got their attention. It was funny.
So did Dawn take care of everything at home, and the business kept running? You kept selling stuff.
Yeah, we kept doing stuff. She was loading up stuff for Whatnot. She was making sure stuff got shipped. I think she was posting some stuff.
She was
probably
texting,
just generally probably having a good time. She was probably enjoying herself. You know what I mean? It was a vacation from a.
Yeah, she texted said she was having a great time because you were gone. That was what she said. She said I'm really.
She had a picture of her really close to Sunny. I think it was a little.
Yeah.
Well, Sunny's out of town, Kev. Sunny's in New York, so
Sunny is on his.
Maybe it was Bizarro.
He's on an anniversary thing in New York. Kevin.
Likes the young lad.
Hank. Hank's a good-looking dude.
No, so that's cool. It's amazing what happens when Carrie does something other than sleep all week. He's got so much to say because he actually got out of bed. Good job, Carrie.
And you look pretty good.
He does. He looks handsome. He got his head.
Is that Carrie? I'm like, yeah, it's Carrie.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to a corporate thing. No more of this, like looking like a picker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With like Carrie, a picker. You're the only picker I know. Just like that, Carrie.
You and I are both getting now. Kevin somehow has like 12-year-old boy hair, but me and you are both getting to the point where we're gonna have to either say, "Hey, we're gonna dye our hair," or we're not. Are we gonna just?
Dude, I'm way farther along than you, man. I'm farther along than you.
I have some.
A little bit. I have a lot.
But I mean, are you gonna dye it? Or are you gonna go full gray? Like, what's the plan?
I'm gonna go. I'm already in my George Clooney salt and pepper ER stage. That's where I'm at right now.
At 39, I mean, that happens. Guys. Those of you,
I'm mixed steamy right now.
Yeah, mine is getting like I cut it really short, but over here there's a lot of gray coming in. And I'm like,
well, you work harder than we do.
I do think stress is a part of it. I do, but my dad is full gray on the top, like white almost. But I don't know. Like if I was full white hair, I feel like I'd dye it. Am I so vain? I mean, Kevin does the Botox every week, so he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. He understands. I mean, he's 76. Speaking of getting your face removable. All stretched back, I went and saw the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Have you guys seen it?
Yes. Tuesday. I already have my tickets.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Oh, okay. The bad guy has his face all stretched back. That's why it was, made me think of it. But it was a good movie. I liked it. Spoiler.
What day did you see it?
Next week. I saw it Friday. I skipped work. Friday. I took my son out of school and we went and saw it and had a
See, that's a good dad right there. That's a good dad.
So we started it off. We went to yard sales together. He was like all ready for school. I said, hey, how about you skip school? Come to yard sales with me and then we go see Guardians. And he's like, okay. Does mom know? I said, Friday. She'll be fine. Yeah, on Friday. I was like,
how many yard sales do you see down there?
So actually down here, Friday is like the big day, right? Friday is the big day for yard sales, except for community sales. A lot of them are on Saturday. That's why it's so frustrating having a day job, honestly, because I miss a crap ton of yard sales. Wow. Yeah.
Why Friday? That makes no sense to me, all this stuff.
Everyone's retired. Everyone's retired. Everybody's retired. Down here, dude, a lot of people are retired and they just don't have a job and they're like, yeah, I have stuff to do Saturday. They don't want to do
people when you go to yard sales. When you go to yard sales in Florida, how many people are just full on leather Harley gear? Like just
there is a lot of bikers. Chaps, yeah, it's me. I'm generally just in chaps. Yeah, just in chaps, nothing else. And that's how I get the deals. Really, they just want me to leave. Like, sir, you need to leave immediately. Just take it.
Your videos would be on a totally different channel if they were doing a third person perspective. Your POV, they don't see the whole show going on.
Yeah, exactly.
They just see.
I don't know why.
That look of shock on the people's faces.
I constantly go to sales. And they're like, "Oh, you missed all the good stuff yesterday." Like that's the most common thing I hear walking up to sales. Oh, you should have seen how much I sold.
It's not good stuff. That was garbage.
I'm sure it's true, man. It's frustrating.
Well, think about 127 when we went, right? I mean, it's like, and you're there on the last day. I didn't even go out on the last day. It's just like,
Saturday. I mean,
it's like, what's the point, right? I mean,
I thought Brandon and Rod ran into each other. Were you not with them? With Brandon?
No. I was talking about the 127. The 100 here, or even this right here. We did go out on Saturday, but we never made it. We just did locals on Saturday.
Tell us, Kevin. Tell us. We buried the lead with Carrie's story. How was the
I know. I'm wondering. I'm like, why are we talking about
everyone did stuff but me this week? So Kevin, it's your chance to shine.
They drove him around, carried him from yard sale.
I could tell stories, y'all. I mean, it was just.
Let's try to keep them entertaining this time, though. Like if you can,
and I always downplay.
I'm already tired.
Why are you just talking over me? Am I not talking? Can you hear me? Does this thing work?
We're trolling you, Kevin. Go. Go ahead, big guy.
So it was, I downplayed the sale because there's been years where it stinks. It's like I go out for a few hours and then the next day I go out and it's like, okay, whatever. Let me tell you, it was beautiful weather. It was good. Everybody cleaned house. Everybody.
Wow.
Except for Death Pile Picker. For some reason, he did really good.
Except for Death Pile Picker?
Well,
especially.
Well, wait, I got a little story about Mike. So he, the first few days, I'm like, he's not buying anything. He's like, I'm like, you got to live up to your name here. He was so happy and proud. He would buy a few things, but he's very selective. Wasn't going to take a whole truck home. The last day, filled it up. Boom, filled it up.
Really?
We got into a house. Everybody got into it's like the new thing, right? It's like you got to get into the house. That's Eric's gig.
Basically glorified home invaders.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all of us apparently became home invaders. It was crazy. That was like the goal. And it over and over. Tim and Chernock, those guys are experts at getting into houses and getting into deals and into basements.
They know where the hide key is.
You got
They know exactly which windows to break.
How to jimmy a door.
They look up on the registry for the oldest people, who might have actually died or something, and then they find they're hardcore, and then they just give low ball after low ball after low. I mean, you think I'm cheap?
It's because they're not on camera. They're not on camera.
Exactly right.
To impress. They're real sellers.
Kevin is. You're inflating your prices when you're on camera. It's double or triple what you would usually offer if you weren't filming. I bet.
Yeah, Kevin actually has a software that does autocorrect. I love like you do in a document.
From today's video.
That's terribly untrue.
I love from today's video how take the whole $1, child, for the lemonade. Take the whole $1. I guarantee you asked for 50 cents after that when you turned it off. You're like, can I have
used
the
to be
change
back in the day, boy, you know, you watch those first videos or something, if it was like came to 13 and a quarter, I carried quarters in my pockets, you know, it was like 13 and a quarter. Right now, you know, 14.75.
My mom carries the quarters, and I'll say, Mom, pay him a quarter, and I'll give the $13.
There you go. And I would just, I mean, some of the stuff I look back on, I'm like, man.
I think Kevin probably used to negotiate. Yeah, you used to negotiate the lemonade. You'd be like, "Hey, if I buy all this, we throw in a lemonade." Like, and the kid would be like crying and be like,
"Never did that."
Your mom said yes. Give me the lemonade.
He'd be like, "I'll give you." He'd be like, "I'll give you 2 gallons of goat's milk and my finest cheese," or so, whatever the heck
I would buy the lemonade first to try to get a better deal from the parents. That's the key right there. That's what you got to do. Listen, and I'm going to give away a story. Chernock probably won't be mad at me.
It's about manipulation, not about the people.
Chernock bought a $400 hat off of somebody's head for $20.
Wow.
Why didn't he pay him like 40 though?
It was a Mighty Ducks hat. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but it was a Mighty Ducks hat, Carrie.
Why wouldn't you be allowed to say it?
That sold in the auction?
No, that was mine. I bought that for a quarter.
Oh my gosh, the auction! I totally forgot about it. There's plenty to talk about.
Yeah, the auction where
the rip-off king with his
auction. Yeah, are you going to give any of that money back?
How do you mute the audio and video on this thing? I don't even know how to do it. I can't get out of the stream anymore.
He's stuck.
Amazing.
He gets to mute, but here.
There you go. He figured it out. He figured it out. No, okay. I mean, Kevin did. How much of the stuff you sold was from the Highway 100 sale? There, that's an easy question.
None of it.
Okay, it was all like predetermined.
So we went out. Stuff. Actually, no, I take it back. I absolutely take that back. So let's see. When was the auction? It was Thursday night. It wasn't. Okay, so here's what we did. So Wednesday we had a private pick at a house, and just it was crazy good. I bought a box. Pittsburgh Picker would be proud of me. A box of that was a different sale. Anyway, I'm losing my mind. I won't go into all that. So Thursday we went out
elderly
picking
stuff.
And at the end of the day, we came across somebody. They recognized me, and you know the prices were a little high, but once they recognized me and I said hi, I wanted to find something to buy. And
you said that twice.
What?
We get it. They recognized you. Go ahead.
They recognized you. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
We get it, Kevin.
I was trying to do a continuation of the story.
Okay.
Whatever.
So got it.
Once they recognized me.
Yeah, we know.
At any rate.
Oh, get my drink.
Once they recognized me, then I went over and I was trying to find something to buy, and the guy was ready and willing to sell it at almost any price at this point.
Okay.
I'm like, this is weird. And so we bought a Funko Pops and Star Wars stuff all in the box. And it gave us a pretty good deal on it. And then I got home, and me and Rod both picking and punching your buddy. I stole him, just like you stole Carrie from me.
Yeah, that's fine. He's good. He's good to pick with. He's fun to pick with.
Rod's so much fun. Cool. I had a blast. Yeah. And we just split it up. We split like 4 or 5 different things up.
Yeah.
Just whenever you find them, because you don't want to compete and whatever. If it was a big find and there's a bunch of stuff, we split it up and brought it home. And both of us realized it's May the 4th. You know, May the 4th be with you. And I'm like, I think I had one Star Wars thing and I bought it from you, Dave.
He realized it and he told you, and then you had figured it out.
He had told me, but I had already realized it, and I had already put extra things that were all Star Wars onto the auction, which was a big mistake because that was just more to ship. It was an insane amount. I bit off way more than I could chew, but
dude,
I didn't have to ship
a whatnot auction is brutal.
190 items because of the stuff in the merch store. 190. The girls were down there, all of them, for 5 hours.
Yeah. No, that's about right.
I could not fit. I barely could fit it in my car.
Did you take some behind the scenes footage of this? This would have been good content. Good. Yeah, good.
I did. So it's barely in the truck, and I have to go out yard sailing Saturday morning. Everybody's here, and my truck is jam-packed full of stuff. And so we went out, and of course, we find the absolute mother load where we've got to fill up another truck. And I'm like, we ain't got no room. Thank goodness Mike hadn't bought much because he bought that.
What kind of stuff was at the mother load?
It was, I don't even want to give it away. It's such a good video.
You can just tell us the category. Clothing,
nobody's listening,
Mike,
Kevin.
Electronics.
Nobody's here.
Granny
I'll say
panties?
Family Guy. I'll just say Family Guy Motherload.
Oh, dude, those action figures are good money. Even loose, they're good money.
They were all brand new in the box.
Oh, dang.
And we filled up a truck of them.
Wow.
The whole truck. Crazy. The whole cabin is full. Anyway, we have a whole video from that one sale, but Mike he had some glassware. And of course, we're all texting each other of particular items that somebody might be an expert in, which is kind of cool. And Mike wanted to show Tim the glass, because there was Fenton, there was all kinds of stuff over the years. And so he got into the house to look at the glass, and that's how we got to the basement, to see an entire closet full of this stuff. And he just keeps pulling it out and pulling it out and pulling it out, and we bought it all. It was insane.
Wow. Was there any Murano? Any Murano?
Well, the glassware, he wasn't going to sell the glass.
Crack pipe?
So, but yeah, Tim. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Tim. We talk about licking and feeling stuff. It was weird. I was a little uncomfortable every time he picked something up.
We weren't talking about that.
Yeah. So you basically you went to a yard sale. This was at a yard sale, and someone convinced the person to let you into their home. And then once you're in their
everybody
home,
that I went yard selling with did this.
Okay, so once all 5 of you bullied the person into letting you into their house. Okay,
they were very uncomfortable, I'm sure.
And they were scared, really scared. And you said, "Where are your valuables?" They said, "In the closet downstairs." You proceeded to take all the valuables, and then as you walked out, you dropped 50 cents on the floor and said, "You better say thank you." And then you left.
No, that's what Eric does. Eric does that. He's such a shrewd negotiator.
Dude, Brandon, he
drops like $1.50.
So these guys, they're out there with cameras, Kevin and Eric and Rod, and they're just like storming the town of Lynchburg, right? They're just all up in there at this 100-mile yard sale, causing mayhem, causing chaos.
Imagine you're in Lynchburg and
Brandon's calling me this whole weekend, CVA Thrift, my friend, and he's just like, "Yo, I just left this sale, and holy cow, there was like 5 of them. They all had cameras, and man, the people looked so overwhelmed."
Imagine you're at a yard sale.
I only saw him one time.
Yeah. Oh, he was following you, bro. He was hiding under your truck bed, and he was actually like Spider-Manning it. And so he's like, it's crazy. He's like, I saw Eric, and I really was trying to talk to him, but he's just like so deep in a conversation with this person running the sale. And like 10, 15 minutes went by, and I was like, I got to keep yard selling. And so I just left without saying hi.
That's how Eric yard sales. I'm telling you, this is a new thing. I'm going to do a video on this, because when yard sales get tougher and tougher, you got to dig for the good stuff. And sometimes people, if it's in their house and they're having a garage sale, then they don't think it's good, or they know it's really good. Either way, you want it. Right? And so Eric's whole philosophy, sorry, Eric, I'm throwing you under the bus, but it's interesting. It's not just him, because it's everybody, apparently. And I've done it before. We did it, y'all ripping on the table. All 3 of us did it.
Jeez. Yeah, we did with the phone. Yeah.
And she just unfortunately wouldn't sell as much. But
but you stole a bunch
Eric
of stuff,
will sit there to conversation to get a lead. And he gets leads, and he's got like a Rolodex of people he can rip off. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, we sound like horrible monsters if this is your first time listening to the show, guys. Let's just tell you to look up the word sarcasm in the dictionary, and then watch the show.
You're in Lynchburg, Virginia, and this band of people with cameras, they probably assume you're like Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons because of your age or whatever. And they're like, what is going on? We got this boy band coming up. And then you talk your way into their house. They're confused. It's interesting. I would never, I'll be honest, I don't think I could ever talk my way into a house. I have no interest in doing it.
Did you come with us to that one in Charlotte?
I enjoyed doing it. I would do it with you guys, but I would never be the one. I don't think I could do it.
I got you.
I've done it on occasion, but only if it just totally presents itself. I'm not trying to force the issue, you know what I'm saying? But it was interesting because all the cameras and everything. And of course, people always ask about the cameras if there's 5 people, but because of Brandon and because of the Resale to Rome and all of us,
they're used to it.
And there was somebody else that I don't know of that had one on too, when they would ask about the cameras and whatever. And of course, they did that. Carrie, you may have watched my video today. Dave sure doesn't, but it was the one of us in Vegas. And the lady where I bought those Nagel prints off of, she said, "Are you guys camping? Do you remember that?"
Yes. Yeah. Are you camping?
And I'm thinking she's thinking of the cameras and whatever. I'm like, I don't even understand what you're saying. And it was Dave's giant tortoise backpack.
Yep. I had my big backpack.
Giant backpack.
I only wear that when I travel just to make Carrie happy. And he didn't even make enough comments about it in his video. I was actually pretty disappointed.
It's a normal size backpack. You're just very small.
It's not. It is called the Weekender, and you're supposed to be able to pack a weekend worth of stuff. I have 2 of them. I have the small one and I have the big one, and that's the big one. It's very large.
That's what you. So Dave, I know you won't watch. That's what you're telling the people.
I know you won't watch my video that just came out. It's got my wife on the thumbnail.
Dude, I've already watched.
Guys, please go watch his video, please.
No, listen, I've watched Carrie's footage. I've edited that footage, and now I've got to watch How many times do I have to watch this?
Listen, I'm just trying to tell you that you know, I edit some of my videos and some of them I don't now, so I didn't edit this one. And he comes out with a big promo
who did
at
the very. Where I was.
Did you watch it?
My bad.
So
they're like, you guys did a cutout with me looking all like I was in a movie or something.
Yeah, it was good. At the beginning of the video, he's featuring you two in the beginning of right at the beginning.
Well, he's more of a Dave and Carrie fan. He sent me some funny stuff where he like intentionally cuts you out and stuff. That's why I sent him to be your editor. I was like, yeah, dude, he is pretty good. Though,
whose video is this? I'm trying to get retention here. The first 4 minutes are Dave and Carrie.
I got an American Arbitrage.
Did he put my logo?
I got a
what he did put on there was you know, Art went into the guy's house. Talk about going into somebody's house, but Art went in to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we ripped on Harry Tornado because, you know, that's
drop a Harry Tornado. Yeah.
Drop it. Yeah. But we go in there and then we come out and I told you guys, I'm like, he just went to the bathroom, pulled a Harry Tornado on him. And Dave's like, I just went to the bathroom right here. And he kept it in the video. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is nuts.
And you kept it in too, Kev. You do have an edit button.
You ever like been at a yard sale and had to pee so bad you just use the bushes right around the house? Have you ever done that?
I've never used the bushes around the house. I have in a neighborhood, like in a wooded area or something, not in somebody's house. But I have done that.
Like you carry your tweezers with you then?
What? Carrie, what? I'm not
tweezers.
This you need to put this at the beginning of the video and take Carrie's boring story and put it at the end of the video. Nobody cares about cars.
No, it's good because I think some people are gonna get triggered by Heritage Auction, which will increase the engagement and then more comments. So
somebody did get mad in my video. It did trigger somebody.
There is some real triggering with Heritage Auction.
So
you'll see.
I'm trying to filibuster so we don't talk about whatnot, but I'm sure we'll get there. I do want to just mention that. I don't know if you saw the Instagram, but Chernock and Tim, they literally could not put one thing. Like if they opened the doors, crap would fall out of there. It was insane. They took just the entire van. Like Tim has glass at his feet.
You're talking about when they were shopping
in the car. They picked on the way down. They must have taken $10,000 worth of stuff.
I'm very jealous,
man.
You got some FOMO, dude.
Okay, so I've got a great idea. And so, well, I'm not going to give away the idea.
Dude, Kev, did Tim show you? I found a Blanco necklace. Blanco glass necklace.
Really? Blanco?
Kind of cool, yeah. Nice. I've never seen
the only time I've ever found Blanco was in Minnesota. And I found some Blanco paperweights, and they do really good.
Yeah. No, I bought a bunch of glass this weekend. I got rained out, sadly. It was like I was at an amazing community sale, and like from 7:45 to like 9:20, I was finding just awesome stuff. I found a Rock Band drum set for Xbox One for $10, sold it for $300 in 20 minutes on eBay. Like that sort. Yeah, it was crazy. But then it starts to rain. It just starts to downpour, and me and Tina are like, we'll wait it out. We end up sitting in the car for an hour and a half in that neighborhood, just waiting because it was so good. We didn't want to leave. And then
did they call the cops because of your creepy van?
I also got a whole bunch of golf clubs, Kev. Your uncle would be proud of me. Really? Like $70
it was hard.
3 full iron sets and multiple putters and drivers, and just $70 nice. And just one of the putters, a ping, sold today for $70. Yeah. So it's paid for. Everything else is pings.
It's hard to find golf clubs. It's hard to find golf clubs up here, but when you're with Eric and Uncle Steve, it's almost impossible. Plus Tim knows too. So there's 3 of them picking golf clubs, but I still found a sweet like $300 set with a Vokey wedge in it and a putter. Wow. So it's pretty happy. Or no putter. I don't remember. But
putter is what you do when you walk up to the sales, Kev.
I'll tell you what, that's the other thing. And you pick with good people, but we'll get to that in a second. But I did pull a card out of Dave's playbook, and I found 3 Cabbage Patch buys in one day. Right. And, they're hard because you got to pay, a little amount. But I found a soft sculpture Cabbage Patch. So, you know what I did? I called up Sarah right there.
In the video? Her. That's good content.
The video, put her in the video, and she's telling me what it's worth. And I'm putting the volume down because the lady's standing right there.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. See, Eric's good. Little secret inside joke. So I don't do this with him, but, somebody calls Eric up and asks for whatever. But if you call Eric up and ask him about something, he'll like downplay it. He's like,
He'll
oh,
speak
I'd
in
offer
code.
half as much for it. It's just, those are going to be hard to sell or whatever. And you turn the volume up so the person hears it. See,
he's that G.I. Joe Navajo code talker I've got. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's so many good pickers.
That's
man.
despicable. That's despicable.
You feel like you're making these videos and you want to compete with these people. You want to find the stuff. They're so stinking good. And, I was like, I don't want to buy Tupperware in front of these people.
It's like the opposite of picking with us. You know what I mean? It's like,
I say it all the time. Listen, Dave's a good picker and Dawn is too.
I love the name you left out of that.
Man. I love that disrespect. I accept it.
Carrie's it. Okay, dude, I went to a sale you would have loved. Did you see that video I sent you? Of all the sports collectibles and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like,
it was stuff that they probably overpriced though.
Oh, it was totally overpriced, but it still was tempting. Like, it was all those what are those sports action figures you always sell for like a
starting
buck?
lineups?
Yeah, starting lineups. They're not like 4 totes worth that aren't worth
like
much.
A step above Avon.
There's nuance though.
Exactly.
There's nuance to starting lineups.
There had to be good stuff.
First
there
runs.
had to be. The amount he had, there must have been some good ones, but he had a lot of them priced at $10.
Yeah, a lot of people were way overpriced those.
Yeah, and then he had a bunch of bobbleheads.
Starting lineups, yeah.
So
bobbleheads I love, but there's a lot of nuance to bobbleheads too. Honestly.
Yeah, 4 days.
It really is.
A private pick on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we cut off early on Saturday because we had to film a bunch of videos. So I took out $2,000, $2,000. I had to go back and get more money on Friday.
Wow,
I spent like $2,400 down here.
I'm jealous of the amount of cool stuff and the amount of footage you got. Next year I'm coming.
I know.
You're coming. You're gonna have to come.
I might fly out, honestly, now that I'm an avid flyer.
I'm gonna rent like a mansion on the lake. And we're gonna just
a mansion.
I'm gonna charter.
Okay.
I know.
You're paying.
Look at him.
Yeah, Lake's a mansion. And
buy Kevin a mansion down below.
Like
buy me
$8,000. I'm gonna
$30 minimum.
Each $1,000, and you can stay in the mansion. That's good,
dude. So Kevin, I mean, let's talk about maybe finding a way to do it in June though for this North Carolina sale. Well, without the mansion, Sans mansion.
Well, we could do it lower scale. I want to do it here like that.
I have to take the time off work, but
these
what's that
guys
one called? 301. In North Carolina?
That's the 301. Don't advertise it here. It's competitive enough,
Oh, come on, guys. We'll all go. It'll be fun. 301.
Everybody
I failed miserably last time. When is that?
That is.
We're going to advertise it here. Yeah, but I didn't know what to do. So I was going to all the tent villages and stuff. Yeah. So
I need to make a video about the 301 for Garage Sale Nation and like a how to
June
kind of video. Because
I
took the wrong path last year too. I thought since I'm farther in the north, I figured I'd go get a hotel right at the top of it. And go down, and I did okay, but when I got down to the lower sales, I was exhausted.
Yeah,
and that's where you could like spot it on this. I'm driving to the hotel, and I'm like, well, I could have bought that. I could, as you're driving by, and I'm like,
well, and
if
you're
I'd
really
have started here.
I try not to ever give you credit for anything, but you are good at spotting the places to stop because I went with you to that Tennessee sale, and everywhere the day we went with Kevin, Carrie, we cleaned up. The day you and I went alone, Carrie, we failed miserably.
No, it's a terrible. What's the worst situation for garage selling? Having Carrie drive and try to find yard sales. That is not my strong suit.
About that. My title of the video that came out today, which I spelled goodwill wrong. Goodwill is what I called it.
That sounds right.
And I'm not going to change it because it's a number one. But
June 16th
I have no
and 17th.
idea what I'm talking about.
We're talking about Carrie being bad at driving.
Yes,
and all the comments about it.
We're filming. We're filming, and I come up to your car and I look at your Dungeons and Dragons that you found and whatever before you started whining about how bad a day it was.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, I think I titled the video "Wildly Inappropriate Yard Sale Behavior" or something.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And and somebody, it was Biscuit, it was Archie. He commented, he's like, "What's wildly inappropriate is that Dave Carrie drives the car." I'm like,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. A lot of times when me and Dave are hanging out, he will drive my car because it's just easier. It's easier. I'm a nervous driver. It just doesn't work that well. But you know what I loved about that? Because like you were walking up with the camera, so I knew we were going to get, acting fake Kevin. And then you were like, oh, look at these, this stuff. Basically, you made fun of us for what we bought afterwards. But during the video, you're like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons, y'all. Look at all this stuff over here. oh my gosh, that's an amazing buy.
You know, whatever. What'd you do with those days? You didn't sell them in the auction?
No, I sold. So so I got 4 of them. 2 I sold to Hot Duke on the Whatnot Day in yesterday's fits. He spent $25 on the 2. I gave him a deal.
But not in the auction.
No, he just came. Well, I was about to auction them, and he came and bought them out of my hand. But then I said, I have 2 more. Watch my eBay store. I didn't bring them because I was going to list them. They were easy to take home.
You know what I did?
35 a piece.
I just gave it away for free to the people who came. To that. I didn't charge Hot Duke.
Yeah, that was nice of you. That's free. Really cool, Kevin. But anyway, so I listed them for 35.
You've already gotten their money through other ways. You don't need more of their money. You've already gotten Dave.
And the Hot Duke went ahead and bought them on my eBay. So I sold those just in today's video that I recorded. So he ended up buying all 4.
Are we going to talk about our newest Patreon? Our newest big dollar Patreon? What is it? Wealthy as a Kevin tier?
I think they're called patrons. Yes. Yeah, we got to talk about Wealthy as a Kevin tiered patron. So these are the patrons to our Patreon.
Our favorites. Our favorites, by the way. Of the Patreons, they're our favorites.
Discord.
They're willing to invest $25 a month towards basically nothing. They get nothing in return.
Not basically.
No, I mean, nothing. Kevin gets $25, so there's that.
I post pictures on the Discord of Death Pile Picker and Inebriated. That's something.
The satisfaction of being our friends, which was nice, is what they get. And those wonderful people are ABC Matt, Biscuit Butt, Des Hardy, Diana. Diana, I think, has a different name she wants us to call her, but I don't have it memorized, so I'll have to get it next time. Yeah. But it'll be in the end of the video. Logan Parker County Picker, Logan Murky, New Jersey Picker,
Logan Paul,
Pearls from the Past, Ray's Heck Resell, and I think those are the ones that are active, except there's a new one. I can't remember the name. Do you remember, Kevin?
Josh something?
Josh Tornado.
Josh Varnell.
Trying to buy us, not ripping on him. It's not gonna
and
work.
The Disgruntled Octopus and SoCal Flipper. Wow, we got a lot of Wealthy as a Kevin tier people.
So should mention Harry Tornado as a Patreon like we just did, and he will lose dozens of
Harry Tornado, which by the way, we jokingly at FlipCon put a Trash to Cash sticker on his car. He still has it on there. He is a super fan, guys. So go ahead and say your negative crap about him below. He'll probably read it and even reply a lot of times.
Here's some inside baseball. I sent him a message. I said, you wasted your money. That's what I told him. Thank you. And then he sent a thing saying he was going to do the $1,000 Kevin tier.
Oh, that would have been so good.
But then Haley, of course, Haley, much more intelligent, said no. Don't.
Dang it, Haley!
Don't waste the money. I know we were close though.
Does he already have
some of
your
that
number,
Harry Tornado money?
Does he already have your number?
No, I'm not giving him my number. You kidding me?
You would for $1,000, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's
$1,000, Josh. You can have my number. He hasn't put my face. I'll tell you what, Josh. If you're listening, if you take my face and put it on the FlipCon thing instead of me just being lumped in with these 2 clowns.
Yeah, we did notice that. Yeah. We did notice our faces aren't on the FlipCon page. It's just our logo.
We're still trying to find a use.
Shame by association.
Although I will say
trying to find a use for the. Oh, Adam, who? What?
No, there's a comment here. Adam responded to Josh put a post about how FlipCon is actually amazing and not a ripoff or something like that. He said something about the dunk tank, and I'm not going if there's a dunk tank for me.
Yeah, he said there's a dunk tank of jelly that the Trash to Cash crew will be dunked into at FlipCon. So I'm looking forward to that.
Adam Monahan 687 said, "Don't need their names."
25% off leather face masks, accoutrement at Adam and Eve right now, guys. Use the Trash to Cash link if you guys don't mind. We're going to get you 25% off of all of your adult needs.
Wait, what did Adam say, Kevin?
What did Adam say? To say something. He says, don't need their names on the FlipCon roster. Anyone who's actually someone already knows who the best 3 YouTube resellers in existence are by name: Kevin, Dave, and Carrie.
That's right, Adam. Adam's so smart. He's one of my favorite commenters.
He put my name first.
Yeah, it's by age. It's by age. So,
well, okay.
I think it is actually by age.
It's in reverse order.
No, I'm older than you, man.
Oh, I didn't hear the order. So yeah, you're almost 40, Care Bear.
Yeah, that's yeah. Not stoked about it. I mean, I am stoked about it, but also not stoked about it. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just requested the time off, Kevin, the 15th and the 16th of June. I just went into my work's website and I requested those 2 days off. So let's talk about the 301.
Let's do it. So it's going to be tough for me in one sense, but I'm committed to going because my brother's in town and I never get to see my brother, and he'll be in town from the previous Saturday to that Saturday. No, he'll be in my parents' house up here. He'll be in a hotel, but gotcha. And so I have to leave Thursday night super late, and I'm gonna miss out on the last 2 days with him. But maybe he'll come down.
Bring him, bring him with you. That'd be fun.
Yeah, he could pick a little. I went on I did a couple videos in Arizona with him and my nephew. So
I got a cool hat. I thought this was. I forgot, Kevin, what kind of hat you wear, and I had this ping one. But you're a Titleist guy, so I got it wrong.
Well, this is UCLA, but I'm a Titleist guy. Yeah. I
tried
a ping hat. I probably wear a ping
cool
hat.
It's a nice Carrie
realize. Hey, here's another great comment. Randy Waugh. He says, "Little does Dave and Carrie realize." This is talking about the Vegas yard sales where you guys went the wrong direction. That Kevin turned all the arrows in the other direction to keep them from finding all the good stuff.
That I think that's what happened. I don't.
That might be what happened.
I think
Art
took them and threw them away.
I think he told Art to do it. Is what I think happened, because it's not like Kevin's going to get out there unless somebody's going to assist him.
So the first sale we went to together with Art, where Carrie bought the SD cards and Dave, you bought one thing. It was decent.
I bought the baby monitor.
A massive purchase.
And I bought like 3 hats. I watched the video again. Now he was there before us, but he bought 2 piles of stuff at that sale before we bought anything. He distracts me. He says, "Oh, this is a Commonwealth Picker fan over here," or whatever. And I start going talking to him, and he's piling stuff up. I'm like, dude.
What did he buy?
Art is the most competitive reseller I might know. And he's here's my theory on Art. Art is several times like told me to meet him somewhere, and then like we didn't. I think he sent me to the wrong area. Like I honestly believe this. Art, I love you. You're an amazing guy. But
he's adding fake sales to yard sale.
I know what you're doing, man. You're just so when me and Donnie even talked about this last time. No, seriously, last time we were like, we're going to meet him somewhere, and we talked about a place, and he kept saying this one area, Sun County community sale. We intentionally didn't go to that one first because he told us to go there. I'm like, he's setting us up. We're not going to fall for that.
Comment below and let us know if you're setting him up or if Carrie's weird
might not be, but I suspect he
cost him a lot of money at that yard sale that one week where he ignored
he's competitive,
advice.
Man. He doesn't
watch out for us short guys, bro. We're not going to get taken advantage of. We're going to get you.
About me, I don't. I'm going to find stuff either way. I don't care. If you find a better thing, I guess, and it was a sports card, I would be very upset and I would cry. But outside of that, I really don't care.
The first day at the 100-mile yard sale, I was frustrated because I was happy for these guys. I wanted them to find a bunch of stuff. But the first day, there's like 9 people that were like, hey, Commonwealth Picker. And the second day, nobody. Third day, 1 person, right? Wow. And so the first day, I'm literally talking to these people, giving them stickers, and I'm watching these guys just absolutely clean house. They're going to Honest Tim's place, getting fire hats from Honest Tim, from Tim the Toy Man. The other guy, they're pulling wrestling. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're killing me here.
Kevin's at that point in his fame where it's annoying that he's recognized, but he gets more annoyed when he's not recognized.
It's
more upsetting to him
drink
because
every time you say that.
He wants that serotonin bump. Every time I say that, Kevin.
But we all did really good.
I was just thirsty.
But if you think about it in terms of content, Dave, and I'm sure you did this with Rod, it's really easy to turn that camera on and look at their finds, and you can even pop this. People don't care who's finding it; they want to know what's out there to be found.
Yeah, no, I bet. So it's also nice to find something good because you can sell it and make a profit and keep your business going. It is nice when you find
to feed these guys.
Yeah,
they eat.
Feed your
family. Leroy, that dude can eat.
Oh, I know.
Leroy wouldn't buy anything. All these things. He's too nice.
Okay, so I want to ask this question from the Patreon from Elliot. How many yachts has Kevin purchased after his extremely profitable cash grab whatnot?
Yeah, it's a very good question.
So Kevin did a whatnot stream, guys. He shut off his camera, so I'll tell you. You can watch the replay on reselling whatnot, and you can see how terrible his internet is for the first 25 minutes until Uncle Steve finally changed it over to tethering on his cell phone, and it gets pretty good
finally
after that. And I mean, Uncle Steve, just do better.
For the record,
time,
I told y'all to do that from the get-go.
I know. And I mean, there's this whole other topic of both Kevin and Carrie. I streamed both of their Whatnot auctions this week, and neither one of them could figure out how to read comments on a YouTube live stream, which just blows my mind. Like,
it was too small. I literally couldn't read it. I could not read it.
You can't open a separate, web page on the Chrome
I wasn't
browser.
Touch it. If I touched this thing, it would have like fallen apart.
Carrie, why couldn't you read the comments during
a real
friend
that cared about you would tell you to do that. Be like, Carrie,
I texted you. I texted you and said, Carrie.
I was in the middle of a live performing. I can't answer your text like a psychopath.
Oh, so it's a performance. It's not real.
Did you take a nap, Dave, during this thing, or did you watch it? What were you doing?
I edited my Flipper video.
Okay. Were you collecting the money just every time it would cha-ching and just
Des
smiling
Hardy,
like this is ridiculous?
Okay. This is honest feedback. If you're going to do more Whatnots, a lot of people were a little fussy that you weren't reading any of the comments in the Whatnot. So they were going over they were going over to the YouTube hoping you'd read those, but then I would read them and I'd respond to them. So I was giving them a little bit of that fulfillment.
Okay. So,
but they were sad you weren't reading any comments.
There's a couple things that I want to talk about on here. One of them is just that, because that was the real only negative feedback, except for our own people in the Discord who apparently ripped
and the general vibe of the auction. A lot of the people, a lot of complaints I got were the vibe of the auction was off. It's a little bit. Yeah, it was a little bit aggressive.
You could have just kept your shirt on. Is all I'm saying.
I didn't need to know how many nips. That was supposed to be. That was supposed to be a secret.
So here's the deal. It was sitting here. Tim was running it from behind the screen. The front of the camera was looking at me. I could not see
his job should have been to read some comments. Okay. Tim let you down there. Tim, hear me out, bro. You let him down a little bit. You got to read a couple comments. Awesome. Tim knows how to run an auction. I don't understand why him and Cernock weren't reading some comments out.
Well, he was doing it.
Could be on the auction on their phone,
and we were on the camera. But okay, next time we do it, we're gonna.
The auction was about you.
Assign Uncle Steve to read comments and call him out. That's what I would do. Have someone reading some comments.
Someone, yeah. I got it. That's what
it was too many. It was too many to keep up, I think. But
here's the other issue, because it was that way, and he wouldn't give the dollar amount that something sold for. So I was the only one in the room who had zero idea what items were going for. I had no idea. The only time I did is if somebody said something to me. And so I was in shock when I saw, there was a strawberry shortcake doll. I just sold one that actually had more accessories with it for $30 on eBay. Went for like $90. And when they said that, that's when I'm like, every single thing is going to be 15 seconds and it's going to be, sudden death. I'm like, we're going to try to get some cheaper stuff out here. It didn't work.
No, sudden death makes it more expensive, Kevin, not cheaper. Because people don't know and they hit bid in the last second and they all hit it and it skyrockets the price. Not on my auctions, but on auctions with a lot of people.
It was insane. I felt awful with some of the stuff. I was like, what are you going to do? What can you do? I think you can do is do like an auction every day, and then it wears off.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even take that much. 2 a week, and I'm back down to normalcy. Like Carrie's down to normalcy. Like, so here's the thing with Whatnot. We've said it before. It's a social media app. You had a bunch. Your Whatnot auction was an event. The first of the year, people wanted to go. They wanted to show their support. A lot of people hate Whatnot, but there's also a lot of people that watch you that like Whatnot. And they said, oh, Kevin, this person I like is doing a stream on Whatnot. I want to go attend it, and I want to show him some support, and I want to maybe get my name yelled out because I was the winning bidder, and I'm going to try to win something. Yeah. And they're going to go and they're going to spend $90. They might even call it a marketing expense if they have a channel. They might call it a sourcing expense, and they might try to sell it and lose some money. But at the end of the day, they really wanted to pay for that
tax
experience, that experience of buying something from the Commonwealth Pickers auction.
Yeah.
They were paying for an experience. But they weren't necessarily making good flipping decisions. None of you were. Of course, anyone who bought on there
there was probably only 3 or 4 things that somebody's going to make money on. Ironically, Carrie, one of them was Anaheim Mighty Ducks hat. It's $100 hat all day long, and it sold for $47.
Wow.
So, whatever. Everything else.
I would have been a buyer. I would have been a buyer at $7. Just 17. It was $40 too rich. $40 too rich for my blood.
Oh, $7. Yeah. Yeah. No,
$7 would have, because I'm cheap. I just can't spend money.
A lot of the comments where, oh, this is too expensive. Oh, people are overpaying. I mean, that same thing when Harry's.
Yeah, people came over to my auction. I definitely played that up. I'm like, yeah, if you guys want to get some deals, welcome to the.
But if you did,
I'm just giving stuff away here.
Do 2 auctions a week. By week 2, you'll be back down to a normal level. Josh, I go to Josh's auctions, and he often is getting like eBay value or a little less. I saw pretty regularly.
He sold a ping putter the other day, and it had a bit for $40-something, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, that's an $80 putter.
Yeah, but he sold it fast. It's the value of Whatnot. Like.
Yeah, I mean, like Josh, like you, both got mountains of money from Whatnot to do the auctions. So, I mean, you guys are making a ton of money. I don't even know what your deal was, but I don't think you can talk about it. But it's a lot of money.
Let's just say that, I was a lot better deal than Art was, just saying.
Well, there's another comment over on the Patreon. Susquehanna Picker. How do I say that? I always say
Susquehanna Picker.
Susquehanna Picker said, current dilemma. The house up the street has lots of boxes under the carport and a yard sale sign for 2 weeks from now. Would you stop and drop a cart off or knock on the door? I'm thinking I'm going to. Looks like they may be doing a clear out. Based on what Kevin was just saying, Eric, the OBX Picker, would have already knocked on that door.
He already has, actually. He's already got it.
He went to Susquehanna.
Yeah.
Where is Susquehanna, Pennsylvania? I don't know where that is.
I think so.
Yeah.
So, but that reminded me of something. New Jersey. I haven't checked Facebook in 4 days because New Jersey Picker, check him out on YouTube. Killing it. Is just doing awesome. He is. We don't need Carrie anymore. So thanks for knowing.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, and he's actually like not approving posts that are like literally just about how horrible Kevin is. Like Carrie, I think
I did that one on
purpose.
Yeah, that was my favorite kind of.
It was actually from Carrie's alt account. So that's that's what happened.
I will say this, Dave, because I have another Whatnot coming up, and so when I'm buying after its sales, I'm thinking now of like little items that are a little cheaper. I bought so much stuff, and I'm like, well, I better do a Whatnot now. I got to get rid of this stuff. I bought so much.
You are totally like if you accept the evil Whatnot and say, hey, I'm going to sell on Whatnot, then you do sort of source differently because you think about your multiple outputs, right? So like when I'm at yard sales, I'm either trying to source now things that are worth $15 or more, or I'm trying to source stuff that I can buy in a big lot and create an auction, right? So if I see plush, my new thing is like I barely even look through the plush. I just say, can I get them for 50 cents or $1 at the most? If they have to be pop culture if I'm going to pay $1. But if they're just like random plush, like just a dog, it's like I want to pay 50 cents for it because I want to auction it off and I might only get $2, which after fees is like $1.30 or something like that. And I don't want to lose money. So like I'm going, how much for the whole tote of plush? And then I'm spending less time there just trying to buy it in bulk fast and more time looking at the golf putters and the stuff that I think is higher $1. And I think it's a good thing to do if you can actually get a following on Whatnot, which again,
you've made. And when you were a punk rock kid with your puka shell in 2001, and if you could have went 20 years, 21 years in the future and thought, when I'm a grown up, I'm going to buy out garage sales of plushes.
Yeah,
you would have thought you made it. You did it. You did it.
Yeah,
it is. No, I think about that all the time. Yeah. Young me would think I was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I don't know though. Me thinking I was gonna buy old toys from my past and sell them would not have been something I'd be ashamed of. I'd be cool with it.
One thing I was shocked about is how many items before the auction started, because I'm like $1 auction, right? Almost nothing came to the floor with $1 on it. It was already ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not normal.
My daughter sold a tape gun. And this is what I feel bad about because I couldn't, I can't thank people for this stuff because I didn't know, the names and whatever. So I'm going to do a video. Actually, I'm not going to go through and read everybody's names, and just kind of explain a few of those things because, when I saw those comments later, I felt bad about it. But what are you going to do? I don't know.
Well, you can't apologize. The market decided, just like the market's deciding right now that there's
the market didn't decide not to read the names of the people on the screen.
Well, no, I mean the value of the items, the price of the items. The market decided because of the amount of people that were in there, and they all wanted the same thing, and so they.
I didn't even know how many were in there.
Yeah,
I couldn't
it was
even
like
tell
600 almost the whole time. You can go back and watch the YouTube video of the whole thing.
I started to today for a little bit, but we went up to the lake.
The first 20 minutes had pretty bad picture, but no, I mean, just like for some reason, Heritage Auction is creating an environment where 75,000 gets you the Zelda game. Somehow the Kevin auctions, just as much of a scam, gets $90 for a strawberry shortcake thing.
Is that the title of this video going to be?
Kevin and Heritage Auction in league.
So I have a question for you, Dave. So when you advertise this on your Reselling Whatnot YouTube channel, you put Commonwealth Flipper in the title.
Yeah, I did.
Instead of Commonwealth Picker.
Yeah. I just feel like that's your audience who likes you more. You know?
Okay.
There's more people on the picker. Dude, you get like 80,000 people watching a picker video. They can't all like you. On the Flipper, it's like 20,000 dedicated folks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
true. Dude, I had like the
used
dumbest
the marketplace.
Video. I've listed 2 things on there. Nothing's ever sold off there for me. Okay. But I also, okay, so I've got 2 things to say. First of all, I had this video and I thought Carrie might have watched it where like I was spiraling throughout the whole video because like I go and I just didn't have much to talk about. And so I go to read my comments on my latest Flipper video. And the first one I read is just like drastically negative. And I'm reading it aloud. Like I don't pre-script my stuff, Kevin. So I'm just like saying, oh, let's read a comment and see what the people are saying. And it was like super negative. I'm like, all right, forget that comment. Let's read the next one. It was also super negative. I said, oh, forget that one. Let's read the next one. It's also super negative. I'm like, all right, let's just go pull some orders. And so I pull some orders. And like a little later, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm gonna go read something positive, and it's another negative comment. I'm like, oh my gosh. And like you can see me getting sadder and sadder as I record.
And this
the video.
Is why we like the Discord and the Patreon and the comments in these videos. Well, not the Facebook group as much.
And so I go and I'm like, oh, there's Carrie's name. That's gonna be positive. And it's just Carrie saying he himself deserves some credit for doing nothing. Like that's his whole comment from this video where everyone else was negative. It was just, I was like, well, that wasn't really positive, but okay.
Yeah, it wasn't negative though, was it?
It was either Grumpy and Happy Picker or Grams and Pops Vintage. I found their name, I read it, and it was actually positive. And it almost made me not
negative ones on mine though.
I have a bone to pick with Grumpy Picker, by the way. I've never seen that dude grumpy once.
I know, he's such a delight.
That's true.
Yeah, what's up with that?
He's a delight. He's a saint of a man, and he's a wonderful person. And I'm a little upset that he's not like yelling or doing any of the grumpy stuff.
He's never even punched me once.
But does he buy?
Hasn't tried to trip me like Kevin has.
That's the question. Does he buy supplyhut.com boxes, and does he use trash number 2 cash for 5% off? Because some people in the Patreon don't use it, and I'm like, I think that should be like a litmus test.
I just ordered a bunch of boxes from the Boxery on eBay.
Take a picture of.
I did.
I went to Walmart.
Dude, I'm telling you. Listen, okay, I'm having this issue, and I don't know if I'm like navigating wrong, but I'm having trouble finding the big boxes. They're all out of stock on Supply Hut. Every time I go there and try to find bigger boxes, they all say,
what do you mean by bigger? What size?
Like 10 by 12 by 12 or something like that.
Like, out of stock. You know why they're out of stock?
They're like all out of stock. Like,
do you know why they're out of stock?
Well, because you sold them all with your shilling. Yes.
Let me tell you, the sales are insane.
So I'm over on the Boxery.com on eBay, and I'm buying crap on there.
We have got this guy moving into a new warehouse and buying machinery to keep up with the demand, because
he better get some supply, or we're going to get addicted to different suppliers.
Well, let me just say this, and this is true. Wait a minute. This is true. This podcast is extremely valuable, and there's so many people out there. There's different organizations, different companies that they don't realize the power of podcasts and YouTube channels. I mean it. There is so much that if I was one of those companies,
you're great, Kevin.
I would come after this podcast. I would come after some folks.
I don't think if they came after us, money shouldn't even be an object. Whatever it would cost, I would pay it if I were them. Straight up, honestly. I don't think money should even matter.
Whatever.
Okay, listen, we've got some awesome Patreon things I want to get to, guys. Cheryl Murdoch, who is an amazing supporter on the Whatnot. I think it's C. Homestead.
She does. Right? I don't know if she's bought from me, but we'd love to have you over.
But she said, no question, but please go easy on Kevin. Occasionally, Dave and Carrie go too far a little with the teasing.
Occasionally.
If it was me, I would have left. So think about leaving. Is what we're saying.
Left
Kevin.
The podcast?
Yeah.
Harry Tornado is locked and loaded. He's locked and loaded.
Well, okay, see, and then I have to fulfill the contract with Supply Hut before I'm out. I had a chance to get out between Bubble Boy and Supply Hut. I had a window. Now I'm locked.
It wouldn't be the same without
September something.
Okay, Nick Mobley, your friend over
Cool Hands,
Lynchburg,
relax. We love you.
Said, is there any update on eBay's live auction feature? Carrie would know. He's got like friends at eBay. Do you think it will impact Whatnot, or is Whatnot going to stay on top? I know nothing about what's going on with eBay.
I think it's. I mean, if they're still working on the beta, I will give you some news because you guys know that in the sports card realm, Whatnot is huge. Correct? It's probably where they make a majority of their money on Whatnot. And Fanatics is the tops company. They bought all the, anybody who's been following cards knows who Fanatics is. They're starting Fanatics Live, which is going to be competing with Whatnot as well for breaking.
That's
I think so. There's my opinion.
There's a lot of people getting into this live auction thing, and eBay's going to figure it out whether they do it well or not. Who knows? But I bet it'll do it well. Be a year or so.
So I talked to all the pickers here. I asked the same questions, and a couple of them, I'm just leave their names out of it, but were pretty kind of along the lines I was thinking, because I'm thinking eBay's got massive money. They should be able to do this right. But eBay technologically doesn't do a lot right. Mm-hmm. And Whatnot is backed. They have big bucks. Yeah. And they have the people that I've talked to, when you sign up, that anybody talks to, you sign up to do whatever. They've got young, really smart people. Not that you can't be smart if you're my age or anything, but they're doing.
That's what you did say, though.
They're doing it right. They're doing it right. How does eBay compete when all of these personalities, and I'm not just talking, reselling personalities.
We're talking Chumley. We're talking Chumley.
Exactly. Chumley. When all these personalities are on there, the only way eBay competes is dole out money to get big names over there.
Here's what a lot of companies in eBay.
Carrie, did you just say Chumley was at Collecticon with you?
Yes, he was.
Did you get him for the podcast?
Yes, seriously.
Carrie's like, oh, guys, Heritage Auction would be willing to come on the show. I'm like, I don't care. Did you get Chumley?
I was really going to go after more people after you pretty much poo-pooed on something I was excited about. I want
both of you.
The VHS guy would want to talk with us. I was doing it because I thought Kevin would be excited.
I want the people in the chat to agree with me here. Even if you don't agree in the chat. Our show is not a bring people on to interview them about their company kind of show. I want guests that I just thought it would be interesting to talk for about. 2 hours and joke around about their stupid play button, and they can start rapping like Rake and Profit. Right? I don't want to do an
shameless
interview.
Plugs.
We did one interview with Supply Hut. I don't ever want to do it again, but I'm sure I will if people give me money. But that's the only reason I want to do an interview like that. And if I do one, guys, it's because I got a check. Remember,
but that's an ad in the middle of a video. That's not.
I didn't mean it like interview would be. Don't you feel like it would turn into an ad for Heritage Auctions?
Initially when
I don't know the people. It depends on how cool they are. Carrie would know better.
Yeah,
because he met them.
They were pretty cool.
Would they? You think they'd be down to actually just make fun of?
Well, I thought was especially with the VHS guy, I thought Kevin would just be interested in talking about nerdy VHS stuff.
He would, but that's just that. That would be good for his Flipper channel. That's what you got to do with that guy. Yeah. Is fly him out, Kevin. Would you pay for the Heritage Auction VHS guy to go to your shed?
So I've actually talked to this. Well, I don't know if I want to. I haven't talked to this guy. I told Carrie this, but the person who procures a lot of the high-end VHS I've talked to, because I had that chance to get that Cars VHS, and I got a chance to talk to him. And then there's another VHS guy for another company that early on in this podcast, I actually said I wanted to bring him on, and both of you are like, okay.
I'm the worst about guests, guys. I really am. Yes. It's my fault. If you really want this great content, you've got the wrong guy running.
Dave always thinks we're selling out, yet he does it aggressively all the time.
Yeah, we always get along for the most part, y'all, but we had conflict over guests before. So
we have had conflict over guests. Well, I was just watching this Gary V joint. Two things on a Gary V TikTok came up to me. One was weird
on this podcast.
One was weird. Okay, but one of the things he said was he was talking about how when you create content, you should create content to add value. And a lot of companies fail because they're not really trying to add value. They're just trying to sell you stuff constantly. Don't you think one of the reasons a lot of us are, doing well and growing a following is because we're not totally focused on selling stuff.
It's true.
And that's why
I get that.
I don't want to sell all the time.
Because every episode I have, there's a shout out.
You do. You're the one who sells the most, I'd say, out of all of us. And I'm
focusing on making sure.
in a 30-minute video, I'm going to drop a couple things throughout, and it's pretty quick for the most part, unless somebody writes a check, and then, I'll give them 60 seconds,
I just care. The main thing I focus on as a reseller is that my items arrive safely to the people that buy my stuff. That's why I only buy the finest boxes of packing paper from the supplyhead.com.
I still so want to do like the Wayne's World bit next time we meet up, where like they do the Pepsi, like Garth leans back, he's like, yeah, man, I hate it when people sell out, and he's like wearing the Pepsi gear, and then it's like,
but isn't that kind of what we do on this podcast?
Well, that's pretty much. We make fun of the whole idea.
See, that's the thing. We're a group of we're two elder millennials, me and Dave, and an elder boomer, like one of the older boomers.
No. It's the great generation,
My
right?
parents
the greatest generation.
The greatest generation. Yeah, he's one of
the silent generation.
Elder millennials and the silent, the people who had PTSD after World War I.
Octogenarian is how he likes to be referred.
No, but what I'm saying is, isn't Gen X and elder millennials, we're all about like, not wanting to sell out and stuff.
Yeah,
Isn't that
we
part
are.
of the cultural
Thank
zeitgeist
you,
of the time?
and Blink 182.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Responsibility.
What's that? Not quite yet.
Right?
Yeah.
Not quite yet. Still putting it off.
Okay, so anyways, what were we talking about?
Well, I just want to get back, because last podcast you said you sold nothing on eBay. So I just want to see if you're back to see. You obviously sold something for $300.
I did you know how you like make a TikTok, Carrie, and you're like proud of it because like you really think it's good and it's a full story and it's like a complete piece of content that you're proud of. And of course, it's flopping miserably, and you just get that sadness inside because no one wants to watch it.
Yeah, deep sadness. Yeah.
So that was on a PS3 I bought a backwards compatible PS3. She had it marked at $45 and it said doesn't work, powers on. And of course my instant thought was, well, it could just need a hard drive, and hard drives are cheap. So I'm going to maybe go on it, but I played hard to get because I know for parts they sell for like 50 to 60 bucks. And so I said, I just can't do it. I mean, maybe if it was like 20, I'd do it, but without being able to know exactly what's wrong with it, I can't do it. And she's like, would you give me 20? I'd take 20. I'm like, yeah, I'd give you 20. Mm-hmm. So I tested it this week. Comes on, says hard drive not functioning or whatever. So I turn it off. I take it apart and I see it's not even take it apart. It's really easy. You just pull off a door, pull out the hard drive enclosure. There's literally no hard drive at all. Someone removed the hard drive. So I bought one on Amazon for $25. Came in the mail the next day. Put it in there. Turned it on. Completely functional. It's a backwards compatible PS3, Kevin. The one that plays PS2, PS1.
Yeah, I got it. I got a story about one of those.
Now got a 500 gig hard drive in it. I listed it for $250. It sold instantly. I probably could have done $300.
Yeah. So I bought one of those in an old video, and it was back when I would just hardcore negotiate, and she wanted $40 for a box. Actually, there was no price on it, and I was licking through it, and it's got like 4 controllers. Flicking through it. I took every game out. Just like, what are you doing? I'm like, that's how you see if they work.
This isn't worth as much now that it's all wet.
There's like 40 games and
great tactic.
40 games, 4 controllers, backwards compatible.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I'm like, so what are you thinking about this? And she's like, how about 40? I'm like, yeah, how about 20? She did it $20, man. There's like $500 worth of stuff in there, and it was so bad on TikTok. I don't take videos down. I took it down. And it was a huge mistake. I should have left it up because I'd probably be as big as Dave right now.
Yeah. 5'6" instead of 5'6".
That's right.
That's not really a huge growth spurt, but whatever. Yeah. Okay. So that was my big sale. That and the drum kit that I sold today. And actually, no, I sold I went back to buying DVD, VCR VHS combos, and I bought one of those for $5.
I'll buy them forever.
Bought it for $5, listed it yesterday after the yard sale, sold it for $75 instantly.
Easy. So I'd sell them. People don't do it anymore, and I'm like, I'm doing it.
Buy them VCR
I sold
combos.
Big bucks.
So I don't know. I'm sure you guys are watching every one of my videos. Last week I bought a bunch of ties at a yard sale.
Dude, you missed a day or two.
I missed one day.
Okay, I know you missed something.
And I'm doing one today.
Okay.
Dude, I was so exhausted. Dude.
I know.
But that's my excuse. It's not a good one, but I did miss a day, and I accept that.
Carrie,
I accept my defeat.
What I do, is I had all these experts in here, and we filmed 5 videos in the shed yesterday. 5 of them.
You guys are so good at... Yeah, exactly.
They'll go on when I'm gone. Like
it's a bargain. That OnlyFans, you probably could ask more.
Because so many people were coming to town, I shut it down Monday. I opened it up Friday. And because I just wanted, I didn't want to have to do flipper videos when everybody's here. So I just shut it down. But I had put on a sale, and I did send offers on last weekend, so that on Monday I had like 45 sales, so I could film 2 videos, shut it down. I had a video in the bag already, and I got 3 videos for the week.
You guys are both, I mean, this is some inside baseball YouTube stuff. You guys are very good at batching videos. I struggle a lot with
I'm not
videos.
that good at it. Dave is insane.
I'm good at batching yard sale videos. I'm not good at batching flipper content at all.
You ever think about
I've got it.
You ever think about paring down your, like, I don't know. There's so many like mediocre finds and stuff, and I put them in videos. And that first day I had enough for 2 videos, but no marquee find. And I finally got one to stick in there.
People don't watch me for the finds.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to anyone else if they want.
Dave could change that's actually, if you do want to rebrand from NC Picker, you could just call it mediocre finds. That actually would be fine.
Yeah, that's like all
like that one guy, not a good reseller.
Have you seen my personality or my mom? Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I actually didn't take my mom. I took my wife this weekend. Thought maybe I'd have a change of luck, which I actually did. So maybe, Mama Picker,
you're doing the Kevin method, occasionally showing your wife in videos for a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, listen, but it's worse than that, Carrie. Like, this is the second video. That's the 3rd video now she's been in the thumbnail, and it is killing it. I mean, I want to have 40,000 views by the end of the day, and it's because she's in the thumbnail.
Yeah, but your title also implied that you guys started like banging at a yard sale or something.
What?
Your title was
that was what it was called.
Yard sale behavior and a picture of your wife. Like, what did you expect people's brains to do, Kevin? I was just like, oh dang, the yard sale.
That was the whole title. The whole title was
the Cincinnati Picker said, I couldn't click on this fast enough. Go look at your video. He was
disappointed, right? So the wildly inappropriate behavior was Dave defecating in the sidewalk, and
we didn't know that though. The thumbnail implied
no
marital.
You didn't read the whole title. And
well, yeah, the goo will bins. What's the goo?
The goo will bins.
You literally wrote goo will, not goodwill. Like, I thought that was double entendre.
Here's some more inside baseball.
What's the goo?
Want some more inside baseball? So I sent a message to Julian the other day. Y'all are terrible. Y'all are awful. So I sent a message to Julian the other day. He had a typo in his title. And because I've had people, John Cincinnati Picker's done that with me before, it's like, and it's like, it's professional courtesy or something if you see that. So I sent a message to him. He's like, yeah, I know. But by the time I figured it out, it was a 1 out of 10. I wasn't messing with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't want to mess with this title.
Yeah. No, sometimes you just got to leave the typo. Okay. So we've got a lot of questions left. So we're going to go through them pretty quick. Jess B. Crafton asked what kind of camera I use to record my videos. Yard sale videos, I use a GoPro. And then for my in the garage stuff, I use a Sony ZV-E10. Yeah, ZV-E10, little Sony camera. It's overkill. You don't need it. You can use your phone. Carrie uses this phone. I use my phone sometimes when I feel like it. It doesn't look as good, but it's fine. It's adequate. And
I like using GoPro 9 for everything.
Yeah, Kevin,
I have a GoPro 11, and I film special episodes with that for a different reason. So.
Yeah. So I don't think you need to invest a ton of money. I mean, if you're making money, you can go ahead and buy a camera like I do and use it as a write-off like I do, because I like camera gear. It's kind of part of my day job is camera gear stuff too. So I just like that sort of technology. So I overdo it. Country Road Bidding. What are your recommendations on how to do a whatnot sale? What should we prepare for? How far in advance do you promote it? Prepare for sadness. Okay. Prepare to be disappointed. Depressed. Listen, Whatnot is a grind, and I'm really, the more that I watch new Whatnotters, Carrie, the more I feel like the right recommendation would be to tell people to not run constant auctions, but instead pan around the room and say, what do you guys want me to run? Are you interested? Prices in the buy it now, because there's
by the way,
like
this is my advice for months, and this is just what I said. I'm like, it's not for everybody.
Well, no, your advice was it's not for everyone. What I'm saying is you can do it, but there's an emotional toll of holding up your item, your Ping hat, and it not selling, even for $2, and then holding up your plush and it not selling, even for $2. Like, it kind of hurts your soul a little bit. And then when it does sell, it sells for $2, and you were like, oh, I was really hoping it would sell for more than $2.
You have to.
Go ahead.
This is what you have to do when you're doing Whatnot. You have to commit to, in my opinion, to a certain time period, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and schedule it. Try stuff like Dave's saying, maybe pan around the room at first to guard yourself so that you're not losing money on everything. And really, just like anything in reselling, just don't spend much on your crap. Just go to the bins, pay pennies on the dollar. So if you don't sell something, you can go throw it on eBay and get $4 or $5. Or if it does sell for $2, you bought it for 50 cents, you made 40 cents or whatever. You at least didn't lose money.
So but it's also, it's so
and
common.
Be consistent for a bit of time.
It's so common now to go into an auction and have, a bunch of stuff listed in your auction, and that stuff all has a starting price that you're happy with, right? So you're going to sell this lemon scented crap for one of those dehumidifiers, and the starting bid is $7. And you put all that stuff in there with your lowest amount you'd be willing to take, like an eBay auction. And you just pan the room of, let's say you're selling Squishmallows, all your Squishmallows, and you say, let me know if you want me to run any, let me know if you want me to run any. Sometimes you'll sit there for an hour and 3 people will say, hey, can you run this? And you'll sell 3 Squishmallows, but you'll get what you want for them. This is like how most auctions are run on Whatnot right now. Like the vast majority of the ones I go into, that's how they're doing them. So it's not frowned upon.
Think of this objectively too. If you sold 3 Squishmallows on eBay in an hour for
you'd be
the
happy.
Price you wanted, right? You would be happy. Think of it objectively and go into an auction like this. Like if it's going really well, maybe you'll be on for a couple hours.
But
if it's not going well, ditch out in 20 minutes.
You could
some people do.
Some
people do. Some people literally just have it pointed at a sign that says, let me know. And they just listen to see if anyone, or they'll just check the chat to see if anyone's typing.
And you watch that?
Some people, no, you don't watch it. You go, you look at their list and then you leave if you don't want anything.
Yeah, you go see if there's something you want.
I'm not saying it's a fun auction, but it's how some people are guarding themselves against losing money. It's an interesting tactic. And, but there's also people who have great personalities. So Carrie, you did your auction, Kev. You raided Carrie an hour late, like a jerky friend. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then after you raid Carrie an hour late, I say, Carrie, you need to raid someone. And Carrie tells me to find someone. And Carrie, how did I do on finding you someone?
Oh, they were the best people in the whole world. I love
literally the older guy sitting in the chair.
The older guy
sitting in a chair.
That was awesome.
He was so good. He was
good. They sold. They were doing okay on those auctions.
But do you know why? It's because they committed to the low starts, and not only that, but they have a personality. They have a great personality.
So they did well, and it wasn't even committed to the low starts, which you just told people not to do.
But they weren't doing that well before I rated them, Kevin.
And you also have to remember the stuff they were selling, they probably had little to no money in. So if they committed to a $2 sale and they didn't sell it, they could go put it on eBay afterwards. If they did sell it for $2, they wouldn't lose money. They'd probably make a little bit. That's the whole thing.
So you
can't be going and buying stuff for $10 at eBay at Goodwill.
Remember you mentioned Pat Dees and how he said he said, I'm not giving up on a video I saw thing. I don't know, popped up and he's like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm not giving up on this. I'm like, okay.
Well, so here's the thing. They had low starts, but they had starts they were happy with. Not everything was $2. There was stuff for $2. There was stuff for $1. There was $5 starts. There was $12. I bought a $20 start Squishmallow from him. That's probably a $35 Squishmallow. And it was a $20 start. I paid $20 for it. And it was a decent buy for a Squishmallow. My daughter will love it for her birthday.
The other person we rated, Deal Me In, daddy that calls everything daddies. Like she was asking what she wanted on stuff. Sometimes it was a $2 start. Sometimes it was an $8 start. Some things did sell, some things didn't sell. But
I've seen this question lately, and I think one of them is in the Patreon, Dave. And you might be jumping ahead a little bit, but somebody asked a legitimate question. Do you think that Whatnot for certain categories is affecting people's sales on eBay? Or they're not selling certain items for those prices anymore because they know people can find them on other sites for cheaper?
I think so. But there's also been times where I've seen something on Whatnot and I've said, oh, I want that. What's it worth on eBay? I'll go to eBay, see it's cheaper, and I'll buy it on eBay. So it also is cross-promoting the other direction.
This is what I think.
If you want to what's wrong with you?
How it could affect it is like, for me, for example, like sports cards. Back in the day, I might go on eBay and look at the auctions that are ending in the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then buy stuff. Now I would go to Whatnot and just join an auction and start bidding live. But if you want a certain Tupperware lid or a certain card of a certain player, you're still going on eBay because how are you going to find that exact thing at that exact moment? You go on Whatnot for the thrill of an auction. I don't know what I'm going to find. It's going to be fun.
Crap, we're talking about Whatnot again.
Entertain myself.
Yeah, seriously.
What's wrong with that?
Talking about Whatnot.
Are we not allowed to talk about Whatnot now?
People get triggered eventually if we talk too much about it.
Yeah, but there's just so many things that I would never put on Whatnot. So many things, and there's just no way.
Since when do we care?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, no, I'm being serious.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm being serious. But I care about the people, but we're going to talk about what we want to talk about.
Kevin is right. We totally have flip-flopped and gone back and forth on how you can be successful on Whatnot. And at the end of the day, I guess it comes down to what Carrie says in every other video. This is in his drinking game. You have to adapt to be a reseller, right? That's your drinking game. Though. Yeah. But that is true. And with Whatnot,
because it's my thing.
A year ago or a year and a half ago, me and Carrie on this show were saying, oh, do everything at $1 starts and, be committed to losing money and blah, 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 blah. And now me and him don't even do $1 starts hardly. We do $2 starts because we found out the fees were 58 cents on a $1 sale or something. So you get like 40 cents. So you have to be willing to change.
For the shipping material.
Yeah.
One thing I feel like our podcast shows.
Nothing.
There you go.
Keep going, Care Bear. I didn't hear what he said. I just said at the same time.
No, one thing I think our podcast shows is the evolution of how we think as resellers, because it always changes. It's the whole idea that like reselling is always changing. It's not always changing decade to decade. It's month to month sometimes, especially with the technology coming out. And we're just trying to adapt and figure it out. And we don't necessarily know the answers.
How long is
Kevin always pretends he does.
How long is this vintage trend? This thing has been because I look at what Chernock sells, for instance, and it's just vintage t-shirt, vintage hat. He doesn't just sell that, but it's such a massive part of his business. I love that stuff. And I was just thinking to myself the other day, what if the trends move completely away from that? I mean, that is a huge.
Yeah.
Huge
I mean,
I started 11 years ago.
For Rally Roots shirts anymore.
Yeah.
I still haven't sold any of except for the ones I sold on Whatnot. Maybe I need to sell the last ones on Whatnot. The ones that are supposed to be worth $700. Just put them up with a $2 start and see how they do.
Yeah.
When I started in 2011, shark tooth snapbacks were hot. They're still hot. I feel like the vintage
they're so
thing
hot
is
that they started to reproduce them.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Won't the vintage just change with the time? It'll go from early 2000s Y2K to be popular in a couple of years now because it's 20 years old or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I'll tell you what, for me, and I had just an absolute blast the other day. We're doing one more show at the end of the month. I hate to say this because a year from now I'll look foolish, but there's no way I'm stopping selling on eBay. Or all these platforms. I'm not going to do it. There's too much. What are you going to do? You're going to list a DVD VCR combo on Whatnot?
Oh my gosh. No.
I mean, come on.
I hope not.
But I do think
not unless Dawn's doing my shipping.
The marketplace, because Whatnot has changed, right? Whatnot, you just talked about shows panning around and said, do you want me to run things?
Yeah, it has changed.
Whatnot's changed from the beginning.
Yeah.
And now they've added the marketplace. So a year from now, will people be able to go in? Because that stuff's searchable. It's no different than eBay, right? You can search that marketplace.
Yeah.
Is that going to be, like you just said, Dave, okay, you wanted that. Maybe you didn't win it in an auction and you search it really quick. And so maybe people have their stores on there and they can do that.
And you said in your video that you can now import your Poshmark closet to Whatnot. Like, what if you can do that with your eBay listings?
So if you have like a listing service, like List Perfectly or something, well, you can do, if you do a listing service, a cross-posting service, you basically can list it to the cross-poster, or you can list it to eBay and then put it in the cross-poster and then put it on everything, including Poshmark. Whatnot? And then no, but listen,
okay,
they have Poshmark, and you can import
so many steps
Poshmark
just to cross-list one item, let alone if you have 2,000
But the importing
from
Poshmark is import all. It's like a bonanza.
I know.
Deal.
What I'm saying is I want Whatnot to do that with eBay. I want an import all eBay. Yeah. From Whatnot. They've got the engineers and stuff. They might actually do that.
Would eBay be able to stop that? Because why would eBay let them do that?
Why did Poshmark?
Well, that's a great question.
Why did Poshmark let him do it? Like, I don't
know.
know.
Maybe they couldn't stop. I don't know. Maybe I have no idea. But Poshmark has live sales.
You'd think eBay would stop Bonanza. That's stealing a ton of business from them. That one DVD
Bonanza
a month you
really
sell on Bonanza.
I guess you can't stop them, right?
No, well, you can with code. There's ways you can do it. We've got this Patreon comment from Phil Carrie. It says, if anyone was watching Carrie's Whatnot this week, the tea was spilled. We learned that while Carrie spends time making fun of Kevin's Matlock habit, he secretly watches the Golden Girls every day. Picture it. Sicily, 1922, and Carrie is working on one of his 3 degrees, while Kevin is busy solving cases with Matlock.
I hate Matlock.
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone, Carrie. Since this needs to be a question, Dave, what is it like working with these 2 generational pickers? I don't know. A bunch of old
I'm
farts.
Perry Mason, Magnum PI, Rockford Files. Matlock is...
Oh my gosh, what a complete nerd. Okay.
Yeah. Who, Kevin or Phil?
Both of them.
The Susquehanna picker is pitching a Hershey, Susquehanna picker is pitching a Hershey, Pennsylvania meetup, which I could get down with. I think someone was writing me saying that their wife is in marketing for Hershey and that she might be willing to do some sort of marketing piece with me if I go up to Hershey Park. Kevin turned off his camera to... What are you doing?
What kind of marketing are you going to do?
I was yawning.
I'm just trying to get some free Hershey lounge flies. Apparently, they have some new Hershey lounge flies.
Are you back to buying everything again? I like Dave from 2 months ago.
No, I'm not buying everything. I do struggle with trying to support our people, right? The people who support me, I go in there like an idiot and I bid $20 on a $1 item.
You hear that, Mike? That pile picker Dave is an idiot for supporting you.
No, man, saw me doing it.
Did you see that moment, Kevin? Did you see that moment where I of course don't want to buy anything because I'm cheap, and I'm like, I'll buy Daryl on VHS if you have. And he freaking had it right next to him.
Yeah.
To be honest, I did.
What was it on VHS? You cut out a little.
Awesome.
Daryl.
Guys, Daryl, the movie about the robot kid from the 80s that hit home runs. Kevin knows what's up. It's a great movie.
DARYL with a period in between.
Okay. Yeah, it's like being a robot or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's a great movie. Go watch it right now.
Right now?
Really
Can I finish the show first? Or
right now? Yeah, no.
I sold a golden.
We don't need to watch. The show's pretty much over. There's nothing else we need to worry about, right?
I sold a Golden Girls shirt, Carrie, this week on eBay. You should have given it to me.
How much you get for it?
Like $11 or something. Plus shipping. But I am going towards the Dave model. I'm going to go towards the Dave model. I'm trying to go towards $15 or something cool, one or the other.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Okay, so we did have a hidden held for review comment on last week's podcast. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you catch that?
No.
It's, from Robert Donnelly. He said, Dave, you look skinnier. Tell your buddies to eat my bunghole. I follow you all. So I'm not really sure how the bunghole thing ties into the looking skinnier.
I think it's a funny comment. I don't know why, because I haven't heard bunghole since 1997.
It's the freaking Beavis and Butthead. Yeah,
that's right.
Hey, Kevin, eat my bunghole. Robert told me to tell you.
What happened to comments from the podcast side of it? We don't talk about the podcast side of it anymore. Are we making any money over there, by the way? Like actual podcasting.
There was one. I don't remember how to find it though. I did get an email.
That's all right. I'm just curious. It's no big deal.
You know what, Carrie? You have been skipping out on jelly hands for weeks now, for absolute weeks. And me and Dawn have been, cohorting. Hey, that's not the right word. Oh, haircut Carrie just turned off his camera. He's working behind the scenes with Dawn. But basically, we've got a plan to jellify Carrie. Carrie, are you there?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I didn't hear anything. Can you say that again?
I hear it's time for jelly hands, which, guys, this is a tier on our Patreon.
Jelly hands time?
Support our Patreon if you want to. Link down below. You get in the Discord. You get to make Carrie do
this. Was like Dawn's idea, by the way. This is an 80s movie reference that maybe Kevin will get.
Okay. Is Harry Tornado in the Discord yet? Because that would help.
We got to get him in there. Then people would come. Yeah.
Yeah. Rip on him in the pot.
Oh, Carrie's putting like protective gear on.
Oh, this is good. Protect. Dawn
told me she was going to heat up the item she's going to pour on him.
Uh-oh, we're losing you, Carrie. I'm losing you. There we go.
What's going on?
You have to make noises like they do.
Dawn says I have to make noises like what? The Pizza the Hut from
Pizza the Hut. Spaceballs, okay. Yeah.
Pizza the Hut. On Pizza the Hut.
You ready? You want to put it
on Heather wants to watch it. Can you watch?
Okay, go ahead,
sit on my lap. That's all right.
Make sure you're yelling sales by Tony.
Yeah. So, oh God, that's disgusting. You're getting it all. Oh God. Pizza the Hut. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna throw up. How are we gonna clean this?
The dog will eat it.
Oh, the dog will eat it. That's true.
What is that? What is she putting on you?
Why do you do? It's cheese and pepperoni on Pizza the Hut.
Like Velveeta?
I'm gonna throw up.
What the heck kind of cheese is that color? I don't understand the cheese that you're putting on your face. Is that Velveeta?
Oh, this is so gross. I gotta work in this room, Dawn. Oh, this is disgusting. This is gross.
Pizza toppings.
This is so gross.
What's the temperature? Is it warm? Hot?
It's scalding hot. I have third degree burns.
Did you say sales by Tony yet?
Sales by Tony. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I hope you got your $35 worth, Tony.
Dude, you know what? He didn't because you skipped 2 months.
That is true. So that's why I'm doing extra. I'm doing extra because I feel bad. I meant to do it, but I don't.
Can you eat a little of it?
This is
can
gross.
we see you eat?
I ate a little.
Can we watch you eat like a little clump off your head?
I don't know.
Why, Dawn? What'd you put in it?
I think it's fine for the gram.
Kind of cheese is that orange? Oh yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, it's pizza. Basically pizza.
All right. Well, sales by Tony. Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, man.
Tony, isn't that a pizza brand?
Yeah, Tony's.
I want to take a moment. Can you put me on the big screen real quick?
Yeah.
Can you do that on Zoom?
Yeah, I can pin you. Hold on.
Let me make us some money.
Go ahead.
We should have got somebody over from the Discord on the live here again today, like we did. New Jersey.
Yeah, we should do that. Just bring them in right now. Do it, Dave, and I'll just don't tell them we did jelly hands.
Okay, hold on. Dude, all right.
Well, put me on the big screen too, because I got to do an ad read.
Jeez,
you got to do an ad read right now.
Let's do a Supply Hut ad real quick.
Okay, we're gonna do something.
2K.
Let's do it.
You look like you were just born.
Hold on.
I know.
Yeah, you do. You look like you just came out of the womb.
Hi guys, I'm a full-grown man. That's gross. It's everywhere. Yeah.
How do I do this?
I don't know. How do you do
it?
Got
on my shirt. It's on my nipple.
Nope.
Okay, so do your ad read. Do your ad read.
Okay, guys, everybody go buy supply.com, the finest wares of boxes. What else do they have, guys? They have bubble wrap.
Poly bags.
I think they have paper, tape.
Paper.
You've really given up. You've really given up in the back there.
Yeah,
on
seriously.
The whole organization, like it's just piles of Tupperware.
You still listing $200 a day on eBay?
Oh, come on. Do we need to talk about that right now? Yeah, no, I haven't. I've been busy doing it. We should have business talk. We should do another 20 minutes of the podcast.
Yes, you kind of look like Groot in a sense. Like kind of look a little Grooty at the moment.
Kind of like a sexy Groot.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna join. This is like,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They're not into it.
Nobody.
They just hate you.
Bad.
Oh, look, Carrie's frozen with all the pizza on his face and stuff. Did Heather enjoy that?
Hey, frozen?
Should we put in her? No, you're good. Should we put her in our thumbnail? See if we can get 1 out of 10.
You put an arrow pointing to her.
Yeah, I like that. Wait. Oh, and then can we get? We got a hat on. We're really screwing up the thing. If someone actually joins, I don't think I'm gonna join.
Should I get closer so we can do a thumbnail?
This is actually a great opportunity to pitch the Discord, which we have on our Patreon. If you were actually a Discord member, this would be your moment to join the Trash to Cash podcast. And no one would answer
Everybody's
the call.
Asleep at 11:30.
No one would answer the call.
$1,000, and you can get Kevin's phone number.
I have a question. Okay, so I have a question. There's a few people that are now living rent free.
Let's talk about it.
They're living rent free on our Discord server.
Oh, really? So
let's kick them off. Let's kick them off.
So it's not like directly connected to being a Patreon. it's like a separate thing, right? I give them a link. Maybe there's a way to directly connect them, but like they'll stop supporting us on Patreon, but they're still in the Discord. Are you guys saying that they need to go, right? Like you're paying for the Discord membership.
I can't wait for the day we can kick Harry Tornado out of it. He's got to get
We're
in
a professional podcast, and a professional podcast. Do you think like Rhett and Link, their Discord, they're letting people squat on there? They're not letting that happen. They're not letting the Real Crime podcast. They're not letting people squat on there. They're making them pay.
I don't know. I don't really know. Here's the problem.
You got to pay if you want to play.
I don't know how to link the person with their Discord name, because their Patreon name could be like Bob Johnson, but then their Discord name could be like Nerd.
Well, now
Nation.
you're telling them how to do it.
Well, she's putting more on Carrie's head right. Oh, did it fall on the computer?
Gonna get on my It's on my laptop. Gross.
It's so good.
It's the only nice thing I own.
Oh, well, what can you do? All right. Well, that's the end of the show, guys. Thank you very much. This has been Trash to Cash, episode 81.
Sales by Tony. All my sales, honestly, Amy and Tony, you're wonderful.
It's Tommy. That's correct.
Tomy Toys.